Jack Daddy, knowledge to bring. Bobby ain't one, need mountain dream. Lord, scuba camera haunting our show. Together we reveal the feel we bestow. Jump scares and monsters looking in the dark. Gore and more team ready to embark. Thrills and chills, we embrace them all.
What's going on, Gorehounds? It is your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the duke of the dead, the dean of the deceased, the one and only Lord Scuba Cabra, coming to you today live on the Gore More podcast. But as Big Johnny D says, I don't do this shit show alone, because along with me are my horror homies. First, that dark lord of knowledge, all the way down from the Chattahoochee, Chad Daddy Chrisman.
Hidely ho, bitches.
And that meat mountain himself, the one, the only, the illustrious Bobby Amone. How's it going, baby?
Good evening, fuckers. It is Monday, October 14th.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is Monday, October 14th, and we are bringing you a hell of an episode. And like I said, Big John is not here because unfortunately, Big John has come down with the con crud and he cannot be here today. So, Big John, we love you. We wish you well. We hope you get better soon. We love you, Captain, my captain.
I'm going to cry.
I don't know why it cut out. There we go. It was supposed to play the whole thing, but it cut out. But yeah, so before we start talking about what we came here to talk about, we are going to talk about what we did. I don't think we should do the last 2 weeks because everybody knows we took a week off. We needed a little vacation. We've been burning it at both ends here at the Gore and More podcast, so we gave ourselves a little break. But gentlemen, let's talk about what we did this past weekend, because it is now time for your slice of life.
Lovely.
Thank you. Chad Daddy, hit me.
Well, I'm not going to hit you literally, but yeah, not much has been going on this week. You know, just the usual work, soccer practice. Friday on my day off, I had to get up at 5 a.m. because the wife went into work early, and I just said, screw it. She's up, I'm up. So I didn't even get to sleep in on my day off, which is fine because I had to take the kids to school anyway. No big deal. Then, you know what? Friday, I was bored. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch Deadpool and Wolverine again.
Yeah.
So I watched that. Loved it just as much the second time. And it's nice to pick up little things you didn't see the first time. Just little snippets, little things. It's going to be a multiple watch. You know, I love that movie.
I have not picked it up yet. I want to, but I don't know. I love that movie so much. I think I watched it like 4 or 5 times in theaters. It's a great fucking movie.
Yes, it is. And the physical comes out next week.
Sweet.
Yeah. So let's see what else. Friday night. I don't know if you guys remember, but a few months back, Steph won a hotel stay for one free hotel. So we cashed that in, and we got a nice little night away from the kids. You know, swam in the pool there at the hotel, went out to eat. Not a big deal, but it was nice and relaxing for us. Yeah, nice little mom and dad time. So we had a good time. Friday night, my wife's one of her best friends' birthday, so they went out and hung out. And that's when I sat and watched this movie. And what else did I do? Sunday. I don't even fucking remember what didn't do much, you know. I did finally finish Spider-Man 2 on the PS5.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to the next game, whatever it's going to be. If it's going to be a sequel to Miles Morales, which it kind of looks like that's what they're leading into, or if it is going to be Spider-Man 3. Either way, I'm going to be happy. More web slinging's on the way. I guess they're going to be doing a Venom spinoff at some point, too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I still got to pick up Spider-Man 2. I know I have Spider-Man and Miles Morales. I just haven't played them because I'm too busy playing other stuff.
Yeah, my son wants to play Spider-Man 2. I'm like, did you finish Spider-Man? No. Did you finish Miles Morales? No. I'm like, okay, you're not playing Spider-Man 2 until you finish those two, because there's important story elements that happen in both those games that carries over into this.
Hell yeah.
That's fair.
So let's see. No, I think I did a goddamn thing. So, Bobby, how about you, buddy?
We're just doing this weekend. Okay. I was thinking of last weekend. I needed a minute. Friday, me and my lady went and saw Terrifier 3. Yeah. And all I got to say is, I was like a pig in shit. I was like this. was smiling. I was like, this is great. All the graphic. Oh my God, did that really just happen?
What's up, bro?
It was
Brody.
hey Brody. But I enjoyed every second of that fucking movie. I'm so happy it's doing well. Please, everybody go see it. Let it keep doing well. This goes to show that independent films, especially when you got someone who's passionate behind it, like Damien Leone and that whole team, this is what happens, and it's beautiful. That's not right, but that's fucked up. That's a little fucked up, but we'll worry about that later, cocksuckers. Saturday, it was basically a date weekend for me and my girlfriend. So Saturday, we went out to Lakeland Orchard out in northern PA. We did apple picking. We had a little apple cider. We had some lunch and just chilled out there for a little bit because that night we were going to Reaper's Revenge, a haunted attraction out there. Easily one of the best in the country. And worth every penny, as always. And it was about 2 hours from my house, and we finished up there about 10 o'clock. And it was everything in a haunt that you could probably want in a haunt. And they absolutely kill it. And then yesterday was a chill day. And then I did a little photo shoot with my new Jason Voorhees.
Which looked amazing, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's just some of the photos. I have a whole bunch more, and I still got to do one next Sunday with another friend of mine as a photographer. So trying to get as many in as possible. And then I came home and was a lazy motherfucker and did laundry and watched football all day. I actually watched this movie earlier in the week, so it kind of stuck with me, which as we talk about it, I'm sure we'll see why. And that's what I did this weekend. Lord Scoops.
Well, let's see. What did I do this weekend? I also went to go watch Terrifier 3, dressed as Santa art, which was really awesome that our local Alamo allows you to dress up because our Cinemark theater does not let you wear any kind of costume.
So
my buddy Dave and I went to go watch it dressed as Santa art, which was fucking cool. And it's a great movie. It's good. The story's solid. You can tell they had a little bit higher budget. I mean, this one, I think the budget for this one was $2 million as opposed to the $250,000 that it was for Terrifier 2. And it ended up closing the weekend with $18.2 or $18.3 million.
Yeah.
So definitely made their money back and some. I'm excited for part 4, which I hope we get. I know they've already said that, we're going to get it, but I want that trailer. I want that trailer already. Give me more Terrifier.
I agree with what Damien said, that he wants a fitting conclusion.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it to be 10 movies. And you know something? I don't blame him. I'm cool with 4 movies, especially since the first one, we all know the first one. It was subtle, but it was still in your face. The second one was in your face. This one said fuck you to everybody. So I want the 4th to say fuck you to anything and everything, but be a good conclusion.
And and I will say about that movie is that I've never been uncomfortable watching a movie. And for some reason, I don't know. I think it had a lot to do with like the Christmas element of it. I was extremely uncomfortable watching this movie, but a fun uncomfortable, not in a bad way. It just made me feel a way that I have not felt watching a horror movie in a really long time. And there's a lot of nods to other horror movies in it. If you pay attention, there's definitely nods to The Shining. There's nods to was it Silent Night, Deadly Night? There's little nods there, and they're not all in your face, but if you are a horror movie fan, you definitely get those nods from those films or from the other films. And it was good flick. And like I posted on Facebook Jesus, what's her name? I forget her name. Lauren. Sienna. She's a scream goddess. She's not a scream queen.
Agreed.
She's a scream goddess. Her acting in this movie, it felt like you were watching home videos of people interacting with each other. It didn't feel fake. It didn't feel over the top. Her acting was absolutely fucking superb in this movie.
Yep.
And it was just great. And so I don't know. That's all I can say about that flick.
Well,
Hopefully we get to review it.
Tell me this though, because I know for me it didn't. Did it feel like 2 hours to you?
It did not. It did
Yeah.
not. When the movie ended, I was like, that's it. And it leaves you on such a cliffhanger. I
Yeah,
felt like that was the climax of the movie, and there should have been some more exposition after it. And it just leaves you at that cliffhanger. You're like, oh my God, what the
Yeah.
shit?
Yep.
So if everything comes full circle in part 4, this is going to probably be one of those film series that does not have a bad movie.
like
Are
Evil
some
Dead.
better than the others? Definitely.
Yeah.
But the series as a whole is great. And I really hope at some point, I feel like watching this that, you know, I just need a little bit more explanation on art.
Yes.
And I hope we get that in part 4, because the way it seems is that he was alive in part 1. He came back in part 2, and that is, you know, part 2 is when he becomes a supernatural character. So hopefully we get some of that. And then that could tie into All Hallows Eve and what we saw in All Hallows Eve, because All Hallows Eve could take place after all of this, and it would make perfect sense. So let's see, what else did I do? And then my silicone art mask finally came in, which I have been waiting on. I ordered it on Etsy. That thing is fucking awesome. Just waiting on my teeth to come in, and then my art cosplay is finished. Saturday, I had a wrestling event. We had about 70 people in attendance. A smaller show compared to the last one we did, where it was just all my own all content guys and some of the guys from Laredo. We packed the house last time. Jesus, I fucking hope not. We packed the house last time. This time it was a smaller crowd, but you know, it was still a good turnout. And then yesterday, what did I do yesterday? I didn't do much yesterday. Mel and I just kind of hung out. I stayed in bed as long as I could. Oh, we did get Sparking Zero Dragon Ball game.
How is it?
It's awesome. The only thing I don't like is that there are not animated cutscenes.
What?
Yeah, there's no animated cutscenes. There are a few, but when it starts transitioning, it's like not comic reels, but you read it out and then it's just kind of like stills in the back, and then it'll have like a small, it should have just been all animated with like the voiceover and stuff. That's my only bitch about it. It's really hard. The 4th fight is absolutely fucking impossible. There's people bitching about it online. The Vegeta fight, when you fight him in his great ape form, it took me 2 hours to beat him. I had to step away from the game because it's literally like the 4th fight, and I wanted to return the game. Could not beat him. I lowered the difficulty on it. Still couldn't beat him. Stepped away from the game, came back, wrecked his ass, and have not been beaten since. And I just got to the Tournament of Power right before we started the show tonight. So,
wow, you got to the Tournament of Power already?
Yes, sir. Well, so the way the story plays out, so I'm playing as Goku. It skips. It doesn't give you anybody else's story in between. So whatever major roles Goku had in each of the sagas, those are the only fights you do.
Oh, so if you want the full story, you're gonna have to play as other characters.
You have to play as everybody else.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So there's 180 characters, I think, total in the game. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So far it's a fun game. What did I do yesterday? Nothing. And then I was off of work today for Indigenous Peoples Day. And we hung out with my grandma. Oh, yesterday I went to go see Terrifier again. That's what I did. I saw Terrifier again yesterday. That's right. And after getting back from Terrifier, Mel was like, "Get dressed. Let's go to Walmart." She made me put on my art costume, and we went to Walmart, and I was dressed as art. And it was, let me tell you, man, I was terrified that, first of all, they weren't going to let me in the fucking store. They let me walk right in. Didn't tell me nothing. Didn't say nothing. I thought security was going to get called. People were running up to me, wanting to take pictures. I was walking down aisles, just all hunched over. You know, Art does that walk when he's just hunched over, walking and acting dumb and just having fun with it. Scared some kids. They started crying. I didn't purposely scare them though. I walked out of the aisle They were walking towards the other side. They saw me and took off running, screaming, crying for their mom. And so I turned around and walked the other way because I wasn't purposely trying to scare them. Some old lady took a picture with me because she wanted to send it to her husband. So it was fun. It was fun. And then we went to Walmart today and it just did not have the same fun feel. So I'm going to have to dress up as Art more and just go walk around Walmart just for the hell of it.
I mean, I think
and then
either way, you're a hit.
Yeah. And then got to spend some time with my grandma and it was cool. But like that latex mask that I got, man, I will say, or not latex, silicone mask that I got, it is like, I've never worn silicone on my face before. It's a weird feeling, but the mouth moves, everything, like it's really cool. It was worth the money that I paid for it. So
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. I just need clown shoes though. That's my next thing. Before Halloween, I need them clown shoes. And that's all that I did. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, baby, and let's talk about what we're here to talk about, baby. And that is 1992's Dead Alive, aka Braindead. And this is a Bobby pick.
It's
Bobby
a mixture.
BKB,
It's a Bobby / Brody.
It's a BB pick.
Yes, it's a double B.
Well, give us that plot rundown, Bobby.
Just get it all out there. Wellington, New Zealand. Lionel Cosgrove, an oppressed bachelor still living with his despotic mother, Vera, has finally found his soulmate, Paquita, a compassionate grocery store clerk. But fate plays cruel tricks on mortals. After a visit to the local zoo, a vicious Sumatran rat monkey bites Vera, and Lionel's already messed up world falls apart. Now that Vera's got the bite, the volatile situation at home spins out of control as the virulent infection gradually turns the cruel matriarch into a pus-squirting, flesh-eating living dead. And as if having to deal with a new Vera weren't enough, an ugly secret haunts the family, and Lionel's basement becomes a magnet for stimulant-enhanced zombie misfits.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nice way of putting this whole movie.
Yes, it is.
Directed by Peter Jackson, meet the Feebles, The Frighteners. Written by Stephen Sinclair, meet the Feebles, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Fran Walsh, King Kong, Mortal Engines, and Peter Jackson, Bad Taste, The Lovely Bones. Produced by Jim Booth, meet the Feebles, Heavenly Creatures, starring who would like to do it?
I'll take the starring. Starring Timothy Baum, Mercy Peak, The Almighty Johnsons. My name is Cunt. You had to throw that one in. As Lionel Cosgrove, Diana Peñalver, Diana Peñalver, Beneath Still Waters, Untamable as Paquita Maria Sanchez.
Ooh, yeah.
Elizabeth Moody, Heavenly Creatures, Offensive Behavior as Vera Cosgrove. Ian Watkin, My Grandpa is a Vampire, not to be confused with My Best Friend's a Vampire. Charlotte's Web, the movie or the live action or the animated? Oh, okay. As Uncle Les. Brenda Kendall, Nightmare Man, Out of the Blue, as Nurse McTavish. Stuart Davini, Meet the Feebles, Power Rangers Mystic Force, as Father Magruder. Stephen Paps, the piano, Spartacus, as Zombie Magruder. Jed Brophy, District 9, Killer Sofa, as Void. Glennis Leviston, Black Sheep, the Footstep Man, as Nora Matheson. Total body count 143-ish, maybe more.
That's what I found online on the One Body Count website. So I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yeah. So, music by Peter Descent, Meet the Feebles, Heavenly Creatures, cinematography by Murray Milne, Meet the Feebles, and Zilch, edited by Jamie Selkirk, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and King Kong. Effects and makeup by Steve Ingram, The Meg, Mulan, distributed by Trimark Pictures, runtime of 104 midgets, rated R for mature audiences, budget of $3 million, and only grossed, as here, about $242,000. Worldwide,
Wow.
I could not find what it grossed worldwide. So
I'm willing to bet worldwide, it had to have made something back or very close to it. Who knows? But I suddenly want to watch Meet the Feebles. Anybody else?
Yeah, definitely.
I've
after
been, yeah,
seeing
I've been
it
wanting to watch
3 times.
that after a while. Yeah, like years I've been wanting to see that.
But this movie does have a cult following. This is one of those films that even if you've never watched it, some of the scenes are so iconic, you've seen them somewhere. Whether it's on a horror movie, countdown or something, this movie is always on those lists. Definitely a fucking gore fest.
Yeah.
But as Chad Daddy said before, does it hold up the way it did the first time we watched it? Now, Bobby, this, if I'm correct, this is the first time you've ever watched this, correct?
Yeah. So literally just what you said, that's the reason why I chose this movie. There was 2 scenes in particular I saw. And one, I think everybody knows, it's the lawnmower scene. He comes in with this lawnmower and starts chopping him to bits. I'm like, oh, okay. Never seen that before. Cool. And the other was when the guy is coming through, he's like trying to get out, and half his body starts getting eaten away. And I'm like, what in the absolute fucking hell is doing that? And so I'm like, I have to see this. And first time watch, fun movie. Oh, it's gory. But what I can say, and this just goes to the scene where the guy was half eaten, it's not what I expected, at least for him to be eaten like that, what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was also not as, from my perspective, I can say it was just a little hokey.
Oh yeah,
But
it was a lot hokey.
A lot hokey.
But I think it was meant to be that way.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be, but now as I thought back more on it, I'm like, yeah, okay. It fit the whole thing, the whole theme of this movie. It had to be that way. It couldn't be seriously. I liked it, but there are certain things I would change, but nothing major. It's a fun watch.
And a lot of people freak out when they realize that Peter Jackson did this. And, because most people, Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, such great epic movies. And this is not that. This is one of those. This is one of those movies that you watch and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Dude, this was my introduction to Peter Jackson, not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I saw
exactly.
this years before Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. I remember the first time that I ever rented this video. I was at Hollywood Video. We picked it up, and I want to say I was with my son's mom at the time, when the very first time that I ever watched it. And I remember I loved it. It was gory. It was fun. I felt like back then when I watched it, it was really fast paced. Watching it now, it just seems like, I don't know, maybe I remembered the movie wrong, and it just it was kind of slow.
I think I was the same way.
Yeah.
And I can remember the first time I saw it just like you, because it was me and a couple of my friends. I want to say it was my friend Mike's birthday, but I think it might have just been me and Mike and a couple other guys. We just got together and rented movies. And now Mike had a strong stomach. Mike, if he's like he'd just pile on food when he starts eating. Like he'd just eat. So we're sitting there watching this, and the local grocery store has a big sub called the Riverboat, and it's like 6 feet long. And so we got one of those, and we chopped it up. We're all eating amongst us. We're all sitting there chowing down. And I don't remember exactly what part it was at the movie. He's sitting there. He just looks at his sandwich and just puts it down.
Nice.
Like, whoa! I'm like, holy shit! This made Mike stop eating. So that's when the gore was a bit over the top. A lot of squelching noises.
A lot of squelch.
Oh god.
Like the sound effects were just a little too much for me. I was just like, that's just a little too much.
Well,
very squelchy. Very M word.
The scene that got me, and it wasn't even a gore scene. I mentioned this before we started, because the noises are there, but what happens is where it's like, oh, that's so wrong. When Vera is starting to die at the table with everybody there, and they're having pudding, and you just see this pussy blood fly right into the guy's pudding, and he scoops it up and he is eating it like it's his last meal. I'm like, oh.
And everything, all the blood in this movie, with the exception of the blood that's on the ground in the lawnmower scene, was very much the same thickness of that custard.
Yes.
Very
And
just
it wasn't just blood. It was like blood mixed with pus because it was almost like a
yeah.
pinkish color.
Yeah, it was
Like
chunky.
it was like lumpy.
Yeah.
It was nasty.
Shout
This
out to
is-
Kaylee in the chat and also
What's up, Kaylee?
Jonathan. How's it going, guys?
Yes, hello everybody.
And Brody and Gene. What's up, fellas?
This is one of the few films where I'm like, if this was just straight up blood, it'd be fine. But watching that pukey, pussy, pinkish blood go all over him in that scene, I'm like, I don't know if I would kill myself. I don't think a shower is going to do me any justice. That is in anything you didn't know existed on you.
But you know what I love about this film is that it doesn't explain shit really, as far as the way the virus works. It's not just through the scratch, it's not just through the bite. It usually in most viral movies that have this kind of infection, if the blood gets in your mouth, you're fucked. And that didn't seem to be the case, because they got blood all over them. They got puked on, I don't know. I love the scene where what's her name? Paquita? Is that her name? Paquita?
Yeah.
She gets bit and you're like, no, what is he gonna do without her? But then the dentures come off and I'm like, oh my God, thank God. I absolutely love that scene. I also think it's very hokey with the way with the creature designs, but it looks so fucking good. As bad as it is, as hokey as it looks so gross and so, I don't know. I just love the look of the undead in this movie. Even though it really doesn't fit, because look at the way his mom just progressed so fast. Granted, she's the only one that got
bit by the monkey,
bit by the rat monkey. So that explains why her progression with this virus was so worse than everybody else's. But it was a fun movie. It is one of those. Yeah, it's gross, Brody. It's gross.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mel was complaining that there was not enough blood. I was telling the guys that was her one complaint, is that there wasn't enough blood. And the way she explained it to me is, when people were getting ripped apart, when, especially when that guy's rib cage came out of his chest, there should have been like just abundance of blood, and there wasn't. So that was really her only complaint. And I was just like, just wait. Just fucking wait. The chainsaw or the lawnmower scene's coming. You want blood, you're gonna get blood. It's getting bloody. I also forgot about the baby. Completely forgot that there was a fucking zombie baby that was born in like 2 minutes of undead fuckers fucking. I completely forgot. Yes, Brody, Skull Island. I was like, haha, Kong's on there somewhere. Completely forgot that the intestines come to life, or the organs come to life. And
I completely forgot about that too.
I was like, oh my God, like, you cannot kill these things. It doesn't matter if you cut their heads off, you can shoot them in the head. It does not matter. The pieces are going to come after you.
I was wondering what that was, especially in the bathroom. And I'm like, what the hell is, oh my God, that's his heart, lung. Okay. I'm like, wow.
And it
farted a lot.
It did fart. It did fart. And I laughed so hard when it first hit the ground and it started moving and it went, I was like, it fucking farted. But go ahead, Bobby, go ahead.
Well, I was saying, let's not also forget he injected them with something to kill them, and then the zombies in the basement fucking come back even worse.
Even worse. Was it anal stimulant?
Yeah, it wasn't what he thought it was. He just saw poison and he's like, okay, this is going to kill them. And then he injects them with it, and then he turns it over and it says animal stimulant.
Did it say animal or anal? I thought it said
animal.
Oh, I thought it said anal stimulant. I didn't have my glasses on. I didn't have my glasses on.
Animal.
I thought it said anal stimulant. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck? These zombies about to be farting everywhere.
But and the other thing also, real like we said before, Peter Jackson directed this. I find it, I guess, interesting that he did this, because 2 years before, New Line put him up to do Chainsaw 3. So it's like, well, you didn't do Chainsaw 3. Is that because you knew you were not going to be able to do as graphic? And then we see this and it's like, holy shit. So it's like, so horror was with him to the start. I just had to bring that up real quick to go off on it. Not just be like, so he was offered that, but he did this instead 2 years later.
it's definitely a fun watch. And even the beginning of the movie, I liked it. It's very, very like low budget Indiana Jones
Oh,
at the
yeah.
beginning, especially when they're running through that cavern, taking that rat monkey, and they're being chased by the natives. And I was from the get go. Like I said, I haven't seen this since probably 2001, 2002, something like that. And it's a fun ride, but like I said, I just didn't remember it being as slow paced as it was getting to the all the gory and action and shit that we get in the third act. But it's definitely a fun flick. Definitely can see why it has such a huge cult following and why it's such a beloved horror film amongst the horror community.
Yeah, and I really have to agree with you. I think that's why I thought it was a bit of a hard watch to watch the second time, is because it is pretty slow paced at times. In between the scenes, with like you get some really good gore, and then you get a bit of like nothing happening. And I think it was because of all the build up to like they want you to really follow the romantic part of it as well.
Yeah.
With Paquita falling in love with him and vice versa, which I'm not sure was really necessary, but I guess it did help move the story along.
You know what though? Paquita would have fell in love with anybody. She was ready to hop in the sack with anybody. She just wanted to find a man.
Yeah, she just wanted to fuck that guy that was just in the store at the beginning too.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
The Kiwi meat deliverer or whatever he was.
That was, I don't want to say a shock, but like I said, for the scenes that I saw, I was thinking, oh, this whole movie is a gore fest. Yeah, no, as a first time watch, I'm like, it took a little bit getting there. Now, if you just cut out about 20 minutes, no problem, but I get why you did it. But yeah, I was like, it's taking a little bit to get where it's going.
So Brody said the love story is fucking garbage in this film. It is, but it gives us a story. Instead of it just being a gore fest, it does give us a story, and it does help the character. It helps us give a shit about the characters per se.
Bit,
yeah. I wanted them to get together at the end. I didn't want either of them to die. I wanted him to be happy with her at the end of the movie. So I get why they did that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it worked okay in this film. Like I said, she totally would have jumped in the sack with anybody. I do like how, I don't know if that was her grandma or her mom, the old lady that read her cards.
I think it was her grandmother.
I think so.
Yeah. I do love that they added that in there also, just to show, because I don't know if they're Spanish or Portuguese, definitely not Mexican, but definitely of Spanish blood. So definitely stuff we believe in a lot. So to throw that in there was a cool little nod to our kind of culture. So it was cool.
One of my favorite plot points of this whole movie was just watching Lionel trying to babysit, trying to babysit, and somehow still kind of see Paquita in some way. I'm like, how?
Yeah,
I'm like, bro,
trying to babysit zombies. He's trying to. That's what this movie is. It's babysitting the undead. Is what this is. Trying to keep the outbreak from going any further. Trying to keep everything contained in his house. Trying to hide the fact that his mother's, undead.
And these were a different type of undead too. These weren't, constantly trying to eat your brains, eat everything in sight zombies. They almost seem like that's gonna sound bad. But it's almost like they seem like mental patients.
They were. That's exactly what they felt like. They felt like he was trying to take care of some kind of mental patients. What's going on, Emilio? I see you in the chat. What's going on? But I love that though. I love that especially the scene where he's feeding all of them at the table and putting the tranquilizer in their food, and he's having to stuff the food down the nurse's neck. Very gross scene. Very gross. Like, especially when she eats it and it just starts oozing, which was way too much than what she stuck in her mouth, but whatever.
Oh yes.
Super oozy and gooey and just so damn gross. If I had been eating during this movie, I probably would not have been able to finish, because it's a very, like I said, it's a very chunky, moist movie.
Talking about this, and I'm just reviewing the scenes in my head, and it's just turning my stomach right now.
It has
a way of staying with you for days on end after you're done watching it.
Dude, I watched this a week ago and I'm still seeing it in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, forgot about that. Oh
Yeah, and like we said, I think the thing that makes it even more grotesque is that it's not just straight up liquidy blood. It is chunky, pussy, pink. You know, it stinks. Kind of just nastiness. Like if you've ever had an abscess or been around an animal or somebody that had an abscess, that shit reeks. I can only imagine what Lionel was going through trying to hide that. And I
Well, you know it, Reek, because his uncle said about it when he walked into the house.
yes, Uncle Rapey.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
God.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck him. God, I was so happy when he fucking finally went.
And he came back kind of cool though. I liked his
A little bit,
design.
yes.
It was like a kind of giraffe-like spinal zombie thing. It was pretty cool.
But let's talk in terms of creature design. Let's talk about the mother for a second.
Oh, Mama Rat.
That was
Mama Rat.
oh God.
She had some big old cheeks. She had some big old cheeks in the back.
Cheeks and boob, like,
Cheeks and old woman boobs.
Old woman saggy titties. Yes. But
it was,
you know, for as goofy as it looked, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. Like I said, this doesn't lay out any kind of ground rules for how undead work. If
No.
they're spiritual, if it's viral, if you can mutate, it doesn't lay any of that out. We don't get I analyzed the blood and it can do this and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't give any of that. So I'm okay with the fact that she turned into this giant mutated rat humanoid that swallows him up in her stomach vagina.
no, I'm totally okay with the design.
Just taking him back into the
Taking him
womb.
back. And he was born again,
To-
essentially, in that
Yeah.
scene.
house, his original house. No, I'm totally okay with the design, but I think the funniest part for me is like, how the hell is that bitch standing on that roof? That shit would have caved in already.
It's an old house, Bobby. Built. This took place in the 50s, man.
Yeah.
That construction happened
that was
in the early
that was a big
1900s.
bitch. That was
She
one
was a
big
huge
bitch,
bitch.
though.
She was a huge bitch. Yeah, I kick ass for the Lord. Probably
Oh,
one of the greatest fucking lines I've heard in a movie with the following fucking ninja priest scene. That was fucking
that's
awesome.
a highlight. That's a highlight right there.
And I love how when it's switching to the actual action scenes, you can totally tell it's a stunt double with that cheesy ass wig on. They don't even try to hide his face. Like you can tell right away it's a stunt double, but I absolutely love that scene. I laugh my ass off every time because it's like, you don't expect that the priest is going to be the ass kicker until he's not.
Fucking that priest.
They even use fucking kung fu movie shitty sound effects for the punches and everything.
Yep. So let's see. Is there anything else you boys want to discuss, or do you want to hear?
I just want to discuss how this was. You can tell by this was not just the gore, but the comedy and everything. This was definitely very heavily influenced by Evil Dead, and especially Evil Dead 2, with the mother's monster design looking a lot like Henrietta from the second one.
Definitely.
But on a much bigger scale. Mm-hmm.
The hand, when the hand comes to life, or when they chop the hand off and as he throws it off.
Yeah, so there was definitely
was
and there was definitely, and it was not necessarily bad.
No, not at all.
It was an homage, not just a ripoff, but it worked. It worked.
This you can totally watch this after watching Evil Dead 2. If you're doing a Halloween night flick where you want nothing but gory, fun movies, this is one you could totally throw in there with Evil Dead 2.
This is a movie you could throw on if you're having like a big pizza party or whatever, and you're like,
oh God,
everybody's eating me out of house and home. How am I going to get them to stop eating? I'll throw this on.
Put some custard out on the table.
Put some custard out.
Drop some red food coloring in there.
We also get a light up zombie. The light bulb been planted into her head. I fucking love that.
Very, very unique thing that they did with that, which I thought was very cool.
That kind of reminded me of the look of Tourist Trap. Just like how the head looked at. I'm like, Tourist Trap.
Yeah, I definitely felt that too.
I liked the one scene where the fist comes through the girl's mouth very quick, very unexpectedly, and I wasn't paying that close attention to see if you can see the cut away or not, but I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that part.
Yeah, I love all of a sudden you just say, oh, it's like, oh.
Very fun movie, I will say.
Yeah.
All right, boys, if you don't have anything else, let's see what Brody has to say.
I would love to hear what he has to say.
Here we go.
There it is.
Yeah. After the Lord. After the Lord.
Real quick, I hear his video, but it's coming through my computer.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, because Caney is cutting in. Snip, fucking snip. Howdy, there, folks. It's your DKB back for another episode of Gore, and this week I'm here to talk to you about Braindead, aka
Why am I getting an
Dead
echo?
Alive.
It's Bobby's computer.
Back in the heyday, I remember once I walked into the local VH.
Hold on. Let me pause real quick. Bobby, go to your settings, and it may have switched your settings around in the audio output.
Audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Brody. Let me go back.
That's
We'll pause right there with Brody sitting on the toilet.
Jesus Christ.
Perfect right there. It's going to be my background on my screen.
I think we're good now.
All right, let's see.
Let's do it.
Howdy, fucking duty there, folks. It's your DKB back for another episode of Gore, and this week I'm here to talk to you about.
I'm still getting an echo from you, Bobby. I'm just gonna turn you down.
That's fine. Just do what you gotta do.
About Braindead, aka Dead Alive. Back in the heyday, I remember once I walked into the local VHS store, into the horror section, and out of all the amazing horror artwork on the VHS covers, this one stood out to me the most. The lady pulling her mouth open and the skull coming out her mouth freaked me the fuck out. But I was very intrigued. I had to borrow it out. I had to know what this film was about. And I watched it. I was blown away by it. It was the grossest, sickest thing I'd ever fucking seen at that age and at that stage. So, yeah, it was a fantastic fucking film nonetheless. And it was pretty much inspired one of the many films that really inspired my love for the horror genre. So your gore, your practical effects, your creative violence, and cinematography, you wrap that all up into a nice, neat little bundle, and you get this fucking fantastic gem of a horror movie. My God, is this film fucking brutal, especially them creative kills. I love creativity of kills, and this film has so fucking many of them. It is hard to choose which is like the best kill in this. I think the boys are going to have a lot of trouble trying to pick theirs. Yeah. I mean, there's so many I could fucking pick from, but the cinematography, the way that that's able to capture those kills is incredible. It's comedic, it's humor throughout the blocking of each scene. And I also think that like the lighting definitely helps make that pop in the last fucking 40 minutes of this film, especially that interior night shit inside. It feels like a Hammer film at times with certain lighting to really showcase and pop like the 60s and 70s aesthetic of horror films. I thought they did a fucking fantastic job there. Also, talking about the comedy of this film, I think it works extremely well, not only just through the horror element side of things, but also the characters in themselves. I mean, Uncle Les, as much of a dickhead he is absolutely funny, I feel, on screen. Because I actually know people that are kind of like him in his personality. There's even a scene where the drunk guy is cheering on the baby fight in the park.
I love that.
It's not needed, but it's random. It works throughout the beats of that scene. And then also the infamous I kick ass for the Lord scene, which I fucking love. It's just so over the top. A priest knows karate. What the fuck? When did this happen? But we don't give a shit because it's just such a fucking fun time. There's times where I've got to keep telling myself that it's a zombie flick. And I keep forgetting that, you know. It's a film that everyone really knows and talks about, but no one actually really ever speaks about it as a zombie flick. It really is, and it's up there as one of, I feel personally, as a top tier zombie film. Especially, like this film definitely makes a name for itself throughout that and the gore involved. I I still can't eat custard to this day because of the scene of the pus going in the custard, the ear falling in. It makes me feel fucking sick. It's that body horror that, really fucks me up. And this film is just like body horror galore. And yeah, fuck this film for that because I actually didn't mind custard. Now I can't eat it. However, the one thing I really do not like about this film, and I've already spoke to John about it, and that is the love story in this film. I don't give two fucks if you have a love interest. I really do not care. And also, I don't believe used to be like this thing. I didn't feel it. I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about that. Push that shit aside. Just give me more fucking violence of this boy looking after his mother and what his mother has done to these fucking other people and just cause this zombie outbreak. And just give me that. I don't care about no love story shit. It's not what I'm here for. Don't like it. Not needed. Anyway, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's just fucking bleh. All in all, absolutely fucking fantastic film. A wild ride indeed. Definitely probably one of the most goriest films I've ever seen. But in saying that, it's just a fucking fun time. And whether or not you like the gore or not, you're going to appreciate the film, what the filmmaker was able to achieve with this. Jackson, I just kind of wish he'd go back to making more films like this, go back to his roots, maybe give him like a $2 million budget and just go think on your feet, give us something with that and go old school. Practical effects, motherfucker. So in saying that, all in all, I'm going to have to give this film, I'm going to give it a 4.6. The love story, like I said, definitely drags it down for me personally. And it's a film that I love to watch, but it's not a film that I'll watch all the time. Like, I'll go back to it every now and then. But it's not like, it might be twice in 1 year. It could even be once a year, but I still love it every time I watch it. So it's weird. It's not like I'm there all the time for it. But anywho, in saying that, this is your DKB signing out. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about the film, and I'll catch you motherfuckers next week, gentlemen. So cheers.
Thank you, Brody.
Thanks, Brody.
Bobby, there was still a little bit of an echo afterwards.
Everything's where it should be. So I don't know what.
I don't think it's my setting. Let me double check mine.
No, because when I turned Bobby's off, but when Bobby's volume was on, it was a lot more prominent. It's a live show. That's why we call it the shit show, baby. It's all good. Thank you for that, Brody.
Real quick, isn't this on Blu-ray anywhere? No, right?
I don't know.
That I'm not sure. I almost want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
4.6 is
4.6.
Okay. Okay, so that was Brody's review right there. Chad Daddy, are you ready to spread them cheeks?
Oh, sorry.
I hope so, but just please leave the pus alone.
There is one, Bobby. There is a Blu-ray. There is not an there's not an HD or 4K, but it is on Blu-ray.
Okay, I gotta find that.
It's like $11 on. Oh, it's an import.
Oh.
From Spain, region ABC.
That'll work. We're region A.
Actually, it is. Wow, the DVD is $30. The Blu-ray is $11.26.
Interesting.
If anybody wants,
I shall get to one day.
Right. So, on its initial release in its home turf of New Zealand, this movie earned more per screen than Batman Returns.
What?
I
mean, that doesn't mean, more per screen, but it probably had a much lower distribution than Batman Returns.
Fair enough, I guess. All right, well, continue.
The BBFC loved the film and found the gore so comical and inoffensive that they seriously considered granting it a 15 certificate. In the end, they determined the sheer quantity of gore would confound expectations at 15, and therefore rated it at 18.
I was going to say, even though it's comical gore, I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of gore, though, real quick, when I went and saw Terrifier 3, there was a group of people who bought 3 young kids. And when I say young, none of them were above age 6.
Why would they? Why?
I don't know. But I don't remember any of them looking at the screen going, ooh, I remember a lot of them covering their eyes.
Yeah, they traumatized those poor kids.
I'm like, I said to my girlfriend, I said, honey, I love horror, but I would never bring our kids to this. They got to
Yeah,
be
if
at
you-
least. They got to be 15.
If you can't find a babysitter, just don't go to the damn movie.
Seriously, wait till you can get somebody. But I was like shocked at that. I was like,
Yeah,
holy
public service announcement time. Do not take small children to see Terrifier 3.
yeah, don't. Seriously,
Well,
I
don't
don't
do it.
care
Just don't.
how seasoned your kids are. Do not take a kid who is below 10 years old. Even 10 years of fucking age, I wouldn't take. But don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Nobody under the age of like 17 should watch this movie.
No, agreed. Not even. Oh, but yeah, I had to bring that up because of what you just said. So anyway, continue.
300 liters of fake blood was used in the final scene of the film.
Holy shit.
That's a lot.
How many gallons is that?
Oh God, I don't know.
Liters and gallons are really close. Hey Google, how many gallons is 300 liters?
300 liters is equivalent to 79.252 liquid gallons.
That's only 79 gallons.
So 80 rounded 80 gallons worth of blood. It's not as much.
Hold on. Hey Google, turn off Spotify.
Oh, Chad Daddy's Sexy Time playlist was about to play.
No, it's playing something else. I don't know what it was. Because I heard me say gallons. And it's sure, playing blah, blah, blah. Hey, Google, turn off Spotify.
I love this.
Stupid fucking thing. Meanwhile, I'm standing there scratching my freaking crotch on camera.
Hey, it's okay. It's allowed.
Oh, baby, it is the shit show.
It's
This
the
movie
shit
said
show.
this movie is said to be the bloodiest of all time, measured an amount of film blood used during the production.
Is that still true with Terrifier?
I don't think that can't be
Yeah.
true.
That can't be. Definitely not.
Even with Evil Dead 2013 and Evil Dead Rise, that's got to be. I got to say theirs was much higher, especially for the fucking blood rain in Evil Dead.
Blood in fucking Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rental in Sweden and probably some other countries as well came with supplemental vomit bags.
Nice.
They gave him out for Terrifier 3 too.
That's what I've heard. During the lawnmower scene, movie blood was pumped at 5 gallons per second. Timothy Baum, who played Lionel, said that it was December when that scene was filmed. The weather was so cold that the fake blood froze and hardened all over his clothes.
Wow. That's got to suck.
Oh, imagine this. You got to throw those clothes away. They're gone.
The movie was finished under budget with $45,000 remaining, so Peter Jackson used it to spend 2 days shooting the park scene with Lionel and the baby Selwyn. He's gone on to say that that is his favorite scene.
Okay.
I would
can
say
see
that was
that.
probably my least favorite scene because it made no fucking sense
None
whatsoever.
at all. Why are you walking a zombie baby?
Yep, exactly. Made no sense to me. Although the part where he starts beating the shit out of the baby and the drunk guy's cheering it on hysterically.
That was great. That was good.
Yep.
Peter Jackson paid homage to this film in his version of King Kong. During a scene on the boat, you can see a crate with the words Sumatran rat monkey clearly written on the side.
Oh,
Which makes sense because in this movie it opened on Skull Island.
Yeah, it did.
Yes, it did.
Sir Peter Jackson is a well-known aficionado of the original 33 version of King Kong. In the beginning of this movie, the New Zealand Zoo official stealing the rat monkey from Skull Island. That's Jackson's nod to Skull Island's most famous resident, King Kong, and then he would return to Skull Island for his 2005 remake of King Kong.
Like that very much.
Alrighty. What else we got?
The original version begins with a perfect print of a 1950s national anthem showing footage of Her Majesty the Queen against the New Zealand flag. Ingeniously, this gives no indication of what's to follow. As a further mark of respect towards Her Majesty during the final Gore Fest, Lionel turns her portrait to the wall to stop it from being splattered with blood.
Yeah. That was a nice little.
I don't think I noticed that now.
Yeah. Yeah. He like literally turns to the photo, turns it around, and then blood splatters on it like immediately.
So Sir Peter Jackson played the Undertaker's assistant, and he's very similar to his character Derek from Bad Taste, 1987. He has the same haircut and glasses, does the same strange smile, and his character acts in a very similar way. Which, by the way, Bad Taste is our episode right before Christmas.
Oh,
December
perfect.
23rd.
Nice.
Okay, where do I want to leave off here? Sorry, I kind of scrolled past a few things. Lionel's symbol in the tarot card deck is a black armored knight. When he first meets Paquita, he tries to buy some black knight licorice.
Oh.
The tarot cards in the film are from Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I didn't even notice that.
The tarot cards in the film are from Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck, but two cards, the Star and the Prince of Cups, are different from the ones featured in the deck and were probably specially prepared for the film.
Ooh. Interesting.
Okay. I like that.
The song played on the organ as the mourners wait to enter the church prior to the embalming scene is none other than Sodomy from Peter Jackson's previous film, Meet the Feebles.
I did not even
lovely.
pay attention to that. Oh, that's fucking great.
This was shot in only 11 weeks.
Oh, shit. Nice.
Oh, wow. That's a short time, especially for everything they pulled off.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Les is hit in the groin 5 separate times during the final act of the film.
As he should be.
Yes.
You bastard.
Oh, God.
Another connection to King Kong, Forrest J. Ackerman, the guy who takes the picture of Lionel's mother crashing the rat monkey's head at the zoo, is also an uncredited extra in the crowd in the 1976 version of King Kong.
Oh, nice.
Oh. There's a lot of King Kong.
Did the rat monkey die when she smashed its head?
I would guess. She completely stomped it. She curb stomped it.
Well, yeah, I know, but there was other things that didn't have heads that were still alive or undead.
But I think,
why would it kill the rat monkey?
Well, that thing's probably the host.
Yeah, we don't know that it was actually undead. It was just.
Oh, true that. True that. You're right. You're right.
We don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't.
Fair.
I think it was definitely ugly, though.
He was an ugly little fuck.
Yes.
Famed gore hound Eli Roth once said that Braindead was one of, if not the only film that actually quenched his bloodlust.
Oh,
that's nice. Saying a lot.
Upon being released on home video, the unrated version at 104 minutes was soon banned in Ontario and British Columbia, and only the R-rated version at 90 minutes was available.
You know, I feel like whenever they ban something, it just makes people want it more.
Oh yeah.
Like, don't tell me what I can and can't watch. Don't tell me what I can do. I do.
It's like, just give it up and shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
What's up, David? How's it going?
What's up, bitch? The film was originally supposed to be shot with a $4.5 million budget, but instead, they only gave him $3 million.
Well, all I'm saying is look at what Terrifier 3 did with $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
seriously, it can be done.
The production fell into trouble with the local council for pumping fake blood from the finale into the Hutt River. Residents noticed the red contamination flowing near Avalon Studios where the film was shot and alerted the authorities, fearing that there had been a massacre.
Damn.
That's
kind of cool, though. Yeah, that just adds that
cool
clout to your movie.
The film was shot on 16mm film instead of 35mm because Peter Jackson wanted money to be spent on the special effects.
Which smart, very well, smart. You know, it definitely shows because they put a lot of work into these practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
Or as campy as the movie is, the practical effects are just pure genius.
Especially the lawnmower scene, just that right there.
That scene alone.
Okay, the Spanish title of the film literally translates to "Your mother ate my dog," a line said by Paquita in the film.
Oh my God, I forgot she says that.
Tu mamá. Wait, what?
Your mother ate my dog.
Tu mamá. Hmm. Am I
Now you're
Google
looking
it?
it up.
Yeah, because I don't. Tu mamá comió mi perro. Tu mamá comió mi perro. Let's see what Google Translate says. Yep. Or tu madre se comió a mi perro.
It sounds better in Spanish, I can tell you that.
Okay, so the UK version of this movie is the complete original version, which left British film critics stunned as the censors left it thoroughly uncut. Differences between the British Braindead and the unrated American Dead Alive are as follows. Braindead opens with a close-up of the New Zealand flag, which then changes to the Queen riding across the courtyard, finishing with a close-up of her on horseback. God Save the Queen's playing in the background. The opening sequence in Sumatra that begins Dead Alive follows. After Lionel agrees to let Les have the money and the house, we see the music for the party get turned on and Void breaking free from his bonds. In Braindead, a party guest lets Void out of the basement and for his trouble gets headbutted. During the party, Void enters the living room and attacks a guest. Lionel intervenes by hitting Void around the head with a Jack Daniels bottle and then pours the contents down Void's throat. After the zombies have been let out of the basement, there's a short sequence where a guest with glasses is chased around a room by two zombies before he is finally caught and bitten. In Dead Alive, you can see the very end of the sequence just before the camera switches to Paquita stabbing a bag of tomatoes in the cupboard. After Lionel's bitten through the intestine and falls onto a zombie's head, in Dead Alive, we move on to Les killing the zombie by rolling it to death in a clothing press. In Braindead, Lionel's confronted by the vicar and nurse zombies who impale each other on a pitchfork and continue to have sex.
Damn. I got to watch that version.
Yeah,
In
seriously.
Braindead, there's approximately 16 seconds of extra gore in the lawnmower sequence where we see Lionel hack up numerous zombies, see the demise of the vicar and the nurse, while still in the middle of making love,
Oh, God.
and see Lionel kicking body parts toward Paquita to be put into the food processor. Braindead also contains the following scene missing from both versions of Dead Alive. Just before Lionel makes his entrance with the lawnmower, Paquita and Friend, the one with the glasses, are attacked by Void's legs that were cut off in the bathroom scene and a horde of zombies. Paquita and the girl each grab a leg and rip them apart. They then use these limbs to attack any zombie that comes near them.
Okay.
When the film was picked up for U.S. distribution, there was a delay when another company asked the distributor to change the film's title so as to avoid confusion with another film of the same name, hence the Dead Alive title for the U.S. release. Director Peter Jackson decided to use the extra time to apply some additional spit and polish to the film, resulting in a new cut approximately 7 minutes shorter than the original. This cut premiered at the Toronto Film Festival and was eventually released in the U.S. Although the 104-minute version remains the most commonly seen, at least outside the U.S., Peter Jackson's gone on record as saying the 97-minute cut is his preferred vision.
Nice.
We need
Very
to see
nice.
that.
And that's it.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Chad Daddy. All right. If we don't have anything else, let's move on to our questions, boys.
Let's do it.
All right. What format was this watched on?
Prime.
Prime as well for me.
I watched it on Cinema HD just because I was hoping to get a longer cut of the movie, but it was still just this one, so.
Right on. All right. Who is the douche of the film?
Rapey uncle.
Mom.
And the
Mom.
mother.
I got to go with Mom. Mom
was a murderer.
Yeah, she was a
True.
straight up murderer. And I wanted to give it to Rapey Uncle, but Rapey Uncle comes in a close second.
Yes.
Because not only was she a murderer, she treated Lionel like a slave.
Yes, she
treated
was
him like
horrible.
shit.
She
was
did.
absolutely
So, yeah, you know,
horrible.
some mom it is.
All right. Now this one is going to be hard, boys. Favorite kill.
I'm going to go with the one that made me want to watch the movie is watching that guy get eaten in half. And all you see is his bones left.
All right. Chad Daddy?
I'm gonna go with the it was like a quick couple seconds, but the dude that got his rib cage pulled out.
Okay.
Just and that's because that harkens back to when the Fangoria magazine was covering it, and that was one of the stills they showed was a guy getting his rib cage pulled out, and it always intrigued me. So
I'm going to have to go with fist in mouth.
yeah,
As much as I love the lawnmower scene, there's just a lot going on there. Fist in Mouth is probably, like I said, it caught me off guard. I was like, holy shit.
Fair enough.
All right. Oh, now on the best scene.
Oh, come on. It's I Kick Ass for the Lord.
I Kick Ass for the Lord or lawnmower scene. It's a tie for me.
I'm
tie.
actually going to go. I love the priest, but lawnmower scene. I have to.
All right.
All right.
Fair
Now,
enough.
worst moment or scene.
Every
I knew it.
goddamn scene with that fucking baby. Every scene. Hated that stupid thing. Especially the whole thing with the whole scene in the park. It just made no goddamn sense whatsoever. Like, why? Why did he take the zombie baby out for a walk?
I will say I didn't have an issue with the zombie baby, but I did have an issue with the walk in the park scene. So that's going to be my pick, is the walk in the park.
I'm going to agree with Steve on that, because it's like, watching this movie, though, it made me want to go to line of like, you could have just avoided all of this if you just kind of went like this. You know something? I've had enough.
I'm done.
I don't care. I don't care. Like, sir, your mom is still alive. You know something? That's a fucking lie.
That's your problem now.
That's
your fucking
Not my problem. I'm out.
Me and Paquita gonna go do the nasty. See you later.
I'm leaving the country with Paquita. That's it. Done.
All right. Did the opening scene hook you in?
Yeah, it was a cheesy Indiana Jones ripoff. Loved it.
Definitely. Bobby?
Oh. Fuck. I'm gonna go with fuck, the scene where she's putting all the limbs.
Talking about Bobby.
You weren't even fucking paying attention.
Nope, I did not pay attention.
Paying attention at all. I said, did the opening scene hook you in? Oh yes, this is our clip for TikTok right here. This is our fucking clip for TikTok. 1 minute and 7 seconds in, or 1 hour and 7 minutes in. But this is our fucking Bobby clip for TikTok. Jesus Christ!
Yes, it did.
Like, what is it? It's a simple yes or no, Bobby. What are you fucking contemplating? It's a yes or no question. Oh my God.
As soon as I saw that look on his face where he's thinking, I'm like, he wasn't paying any attention.
That was the one time I was not paying attention.
Let's see what comes out of his mouth. And I could have stopped him and said, Bobby, I could have stopped it, but I didn't. I wanted to see what was going to come out of his fucking mouth.
I was not paying attention at the time.
Fucking God.
I totally admit it.
What question were you answering anyway?
Best scene, which he already fucking answered.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Oh fuck! This next one I feel is gonna be hard. But did the opening scene hook you in, Bobby? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure? Would you like some time
Do you
to think about it?
No, it did. It did. Continue.
Oh,
God.
yes. Oh, I can't breathe.
You idiots.
I take full
Oh my God. Okay. This one I feel is going to be kind of a hard question to answer. Most attractive character.
Nah, Paquita.
Paquita had a weird face. Her jaw was weird to me.
I'm still going.
I'm going with the woman that his dad was cheating with.
Oh yeah, the blonde.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. I'm still going Paquita. No.
The alive version or the skeleton version in the trunk?
Oh, skeleton, of course. Come on.
She's easy to carry around.
Talk about a boner.
God.
Gene says the priest. The priest was the most attractive character to Gene.
Kick ass for the Lord.
I'm gonna go with Paquita was just not attractive, but I did dig some of the girls. I love.
She was cute, but not...
she was a forced kind of cute.
Yeah.
It's like when there's a movie that has a not really attractive lead, but by the end of the movie, you're kind of like, I'd do her. But it never got to that point where I was like, I could make do. But I do dig the 50s style. So
yes.
I love, I'm infatuated with the 50s culture. So the style I did love, and so the one girl, I'm only going with her. But she was not that cute, but it was just the way she had her hair and the glasses. The one that got bit in the neck. Ruth, was her name Ruth?
I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah,
Yeah, she
I
was,
think her
wasn't
name was
she?
Ruth.
she was
She
cute.
was like one of the longest. She got bit, but it took so long for her
Took
to
so long. Yeah,
change over. Why? I wonder why.
Yeah.
Just probably in general. Who knows?
No clue. Like I said, there's no fucking laws that explain how this virus works in this movie. So everybody got their pick.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I dozed off like Bobby did.
yeah,
Did the score set the mood?
Not really. So the score was just,
the score didn't. No, the score did not set it.
it was very odd to me.
Fair. I feel like because I mean this is a foreign film. I feel like it just doesn't click well with American audiences most times when it comes to like the score. Some of them
Right.
do, but this one, it was touch and go on the score for me.
I think it kind of felt like at that point when they recorded the score, like they were almost out of money, and they're just like, just throw something together.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Which moves us on to our next question, which I don't even know because I didn't pay attention that closely. Best song. Did we have a song?
There was one song that played over the end credits, and I have no idea what it was. I'm just gonna pick that whatever the hell it was.
Well, there was music playing at the party too, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
I'll go with whatever the
I mean, it had to
was.
been because they were dancing.
Yeah.
but I don't know
Yeah,
what it was.
party music is my pick.
I'll go with party music. Fuck it.
Yeah, party music. Other than that, no. Party
All right.
music.
Favorite character?
The kick-ass priest.
Kick-ass
I
priest.
say the priest.
Yeah.
Come on,
Was it
out of nowhere, I
scary?
kick ass for the Lord.
No, you couldn't take this movie seriously. It was not scary at all.
I think for a kid, it would probably be scary because some of the creature designs were very grotesque. So I could see
Yeah.
somebody young being creeped out. Maybe not today's generation of young kids. Gen Alpha definitely would not be scared of this. But
No.
if we would have watched this as, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, which we had no business watching it at that age, but I think it would have been kind of scary. Because I was
I
already
think
an
it would,
adult
yeah.
for
10,
someone.
8, 9, and 10. I'd already watched Nightmare on Elm Street, The Thing, stuff like that. So
So did I.
I think
this
this would've-
just came out before I came out.
I think if I would have been the same age that I watched Return of the Living Dead the first time that I watched this, I think I would have been scared. Because what made it scary for me was these ugly creatures that you could not kill. That's what would have made it scary for me. So I'm going to say, as an adult, no. As a kid, yes.
Agreed.
Does it hold up today? It's 50-50 for me.
yeah,
The practical effects definitely hold up today.
the pacing was definitely off.
Pacing was off, but I feel like the effects and the gore make up for that, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's kind of like split down the middle because it can be a yes and it can be a no. But the gore really umps that factor for me. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, it does. It's just slow.
I'm gonna agree with Steve as well. But yeah, it was slow. But in terms of effects and everything, I mean, that's some grade A shit.
Because I even love the cheesy fucking claymation rat. I know you didn't like it, Chad, but I fucking love the claymation rat. It's like I said,
and you look at it. I kind of look at it like this way, though. I mean, it was cheesy, but that just shows more of his love for King Kong because that was the same type of effect he used for King Kong in the 30s.
Yeah. Plus, I also think it's like, oh, there's no animal that's going to have that kind of a movement for that thing anyway. So it's like, yeah, I can live with exactly what we got for it.
Like I said, it reminded me of Pee-wee's Playhouse, those dinosaurs that lived in the damn wall.
God.
You could have been living right there alongside those dinosaurs. All right, on to the next question. How was the acting?
I think for the movie, it was perfect.
It was very campy acting. Very campy.
Yes.
But
that's a good way to put it.
But that is what was called for. They weren't trying to make a serious movie where the acting was just campy and goofy. So I'm going to say yes, the acting was good because of the fact that they pulled off that campiness to a T.
You know, I would actually go so far as to say if this was played as a straight horror and no campiness, I don't think it would be as well received.
I think
That's
it would have
fair.
turned out like John Carpenter's The Thing. It would probably have been hit badly at box office if it was like that, but probably would have gotten more praise way later.
Well, I mean, it
It's
was still
still
hit badly at box office. It only made 200 and something thousand. So
No, but I think it would have been like as they projected with like Universal, like, oh, this is going to be a big movie, and it turned out to be not so big, and then later on it picked up speed. I think that would have happened.
yeah, that's fair. Did you boys like the cinematography?
Yeah, it gave that.
Yeah,
I like
it's
the
alright.
I like the grainy look of it. It gave you that old horror movie style, but with technically
It
the
did.
modern flair.
It felt like you were watching a 50s movie in color.
Yeah,
And I like that. I like that a lot.
I agree. So yes.
Did you like the premise?
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Zombies.
Yes.
Love it. Zombies.
50s zombies.
50s zombies
With-
you can't fucking
with a-
kill
with
the
a-
fuck and
with
have
a
babies.
Yep,
Within
and a
minutes.
ninja priest, and yeah, it's there.
Was the climax satisfying, boys?
Yes.
Yeah, aside from the weird mother monster that sucked him back into her womb.
She put him back where he came from.
But again, you know, it was kind of like Evil Dead, so I'll give it a pass.
Yeah.
I'll say yes. It from Lionel bursting through the door with the lawnmower and that climactic battle, anticlimactic battle on the roof, but you know, whatever.
Agreed.
Now, I will say I would have gone a step further and told the fire, let it burn. Let it burn. Don't even put it out. Let that shit burn.
Yep.
That would've
Yeah,
been the
those
only way
words
to-
those words wouldn't have stung as much as they did a few years ago, but you know.
Yeah. All right, boys. Recycle, rewind, remake, or reboot.
Yeah, I'll give it a rewind.
Definitely a rewind.
I'm rewinding all day. I don't want to see this remade
No, because they will
or
not.
rebooted.
It will not be the same.
But a reboot, maybe. Maybe a reboot.
I
Get
don't know.
get Peter Jackson involved in some way.
Get
Maybe.
Peter Jackson involved. Damien, talking to you, buddy. Let's
Oh,
fucking-
wait a minute. Okay, now wait a minute. If they said after, let's say he does Terrifier 4, and they say you can remake Peter Jackson's Braindead
not remake, reboot.
or reboot, just go do it. We won't bother you because clearly you're onto something. I would
think
say
it would
yeah.
be gory if they
Yes.
kept with the campiness. It'd be good. It'd be cool. I think so. I think it'd be
But
cool.
now here's the question.
Mel said it was boot. She did not like it.
So then, Steve, here's a question.
What's up?
Keep it in the 50s or do a time period of like
No.
80s?
80s. Give me 80s.
Okay,
Give me a 30-year time jump where maybe there's an expedition or something to Skull Island and everything happens on the island in the 80s. Still no cell phones, no, technology that we have nowadays. Give it to me in the 80s. Maybe something happens to where they didn't all die in the fire. There was still the baby survived or something and has been out in the countryside or some shit. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that.
I
would see
don't
that.
exactly know how to reboot it. A lot of times we have great ideas. John, damn you for not being here because I feel like you would have had a great idea for this reboot.
He probably
but
does.
I could see a reboot, but being set in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of interesting to see.
Attach
still keep
Damien
it
Leone
gory.
to it, bro.
I don't want anything serious. Keep it gory, keep it campy, make it fun. And I think we'd be good.
Agreed.
Oh,
That baby is
Mel said
not
the
art,
baby is
Mel.
art. Oh dear God, no.
No.
All right, boys, give me your rating, Bobby.
4.
All right, Chad Daddy.
3.5.
I am going to give it a 4.2. And let's go ahead and divide that by 4. Did we get it? We didn't get a score from John, right?
No, we didn't. I wish we did.
No, we did not.
All right. That gives us a 4.075 for Braindead.
Make that a
aka
4.1.
Dead Alive. All right, boys. What are we going to be watching next week?
Next week's a big Johnny D pick. It is Cemetery Man.
And where can we watch that?
Ah,
We can
We
watch
can
that on
find
Tubi, AMC Plus, and Shudder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad Daddy, for
My
doing
pleasure.
that little addition
Yes.
to our schedule.
I
like
just,
that.
it just felt right putting that little bit of extra effort in, and I'm glad if we get a Shudder movie. I haven't watched anything on Shudder in a while.
I'm going to watch it on Tubi. I don't have Shudder.
I have Shudder, so I'm going to watch it on Shudder.
You hush, woman. Don't worry about it. She asked me what my score was going to be before I came to the room. She said, "What's that?" I said, "Don't worry about my score. You just sit there and look pretty." But all right, Cemetery Man on October 21st. We are getting close to Halloween time, boys.
We are.
Very, very close.
I know it's going too fast. Don't remind me.
It is going by super fast. Now, I will say I've never seen Cemetery Man. Don't even know what the movie's about. So I am excited to see.
I have.
I've seen
It's
it.
been a
I've
while,
seen it a
but
few
I
times.
have.
Yeah. We get lots of boobs.
Fuck yes!
Yes, we do.
Woo!
That's it. Steve's like, I'm in. I could care less.
Ask me about my wiener.
Yeah.
Ask me about my wiener.
Yes, indeed. I love booby films. Let's do it. All right. Well, boys, do we have any nerd news that we want to talk about?
Well, I would like to bring up the fact that the sequel to The Joker is performing so badly that in this past weekend, it made as much as Beetlejuice made during its 6th weekend. It had
Wow.
an 81% drop off. I hate to say I told you so, but I fucking told you so.
You know, and I will say, and I'm not gonna die on this hill, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. Could it have been better? Oh yeah, definitely could have been way better. But I liked it for what it was. It gave us a conclusion to Arthur Fleck, and you know, people get mad when they don't get what they want in films, and I don't know. I mean, I'm the same way when it's something that I absolutely adore, and I absolutely adore the Joker, but I always knew that Arthur was not the Joker, so I was okay with whatever they did with his story.
Yeah.
So.
But
He totally got murdered by a different killer clown this weekend.
Yes, he did.
Art murdered the theaters this weekend, closing with an $18.2 million weekend.
And that is so wonderful to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond wonderful to hear, I should say.
Let's see.
I got a
So
little
announced-
I got
announced yesterday, we are officially now getting a sequel to Ready or Not.
Oh,
Ooh.
interesting.
I love that movie, so I hope they do it justice.
Dude, I'm so upset that I wasn't able to be on there for that episode because I really did enjoy the hell out of that movie.
I don't think I was on that one either. I think that was just John and Bobby.
I
It
think
was
you're
just
right.
me and
Yeah.
John, yeah. Real quick for the Halloween season, I don't know if you boys saw this, but if you didn't, Krispy Kreme has Ghostbuster
donuts.
now available.
I'm so
Krispy-
pissed that we do not have a Krispy Kreme here. We do not have one.
I have one 20 minutes away, so I will be doing it. The Krispy
Keep one
Kreme
for me.
Ghostbusters collections donuts are available in shop, drive-through, and online pickup and delivery from 10/7 through October 31st in participating U.S. shops. Here is what the collection is. Ghostbusters Cookies and Cream Donut made with Oreo, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Donut, pull apart, Slimer Donut, and Ecto Sprinkled Donut, an original glazed. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up your Ghostbusters donuts at your Krispy Kremes nearby. They do
A buddy of
exist.
mine sent me a picture on Messenger that he got all of them, and I'm like, I hate you so much. I hate you so much right now.
I hate
Oh, then
Krispy
don't
Kreme
don't
donuts.
so then don't hate me Friday when I go get them.
No. Get them. I want you to get one, and I want you to enjoy one for me. I love Krispy Kreme when
I
it's
will.
hot. When they come out fresh, they're
Yes.
absolutely. I could eat a whole box. But
I
like I
will
said, we don't have one
certainly do
anymore. So sad day.
I will
Sad
certainly
day.
enjoy it.
I did get to see the trailer for Screamboat, which is the Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah. Oh, I was like, hell yeah.
It looked fucking interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I am not,
I'm not big.
Winnie the
big
Pooh,
into
Blood
it,
and Honey
but-
was kind of I'm not really into those to that, to that style of film. But Screamboat looks interesting. It looks
yeah.
it looks like it's gonna be a fun fucking flick. So I'm gonna give it a chance. Hopefully it does good, and we have another, crazy film that comes out of nowhere and just tears up the box office.
Well, that's one of those films where I'm not going with expectations. I'm just going in like, I want to see just what this is. I have no expectations. So I'm just going to go in with it and be like, I just want to be entertained. And if I can be entertained, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's
All right, boys. Anything else, or are we wrapping it up?
Nah, I got nothing else.
Bobby?
I'm just taking a quick look. Let me just make sure. Yeah, nothing else at the moment other than Terrifier right now is the hot talk of horror. So everybody just keep it going. Go to the theaters and watch it. Just make it big. The bigger this gets, the better it gets for most independent horror films and or independent films in general of this time. We need them.
All right.
So,
I will just like to say one more thing, and that is happy birthday to Udo Kier, 80 years old today.
Ah, happy birthday.
I know he'll never hear it, but whatever. All right, boys. If that's it, Bobby,
that is it.
Start us off with the sign off.
This is your killing machine, Bobby Bones, saying we will see you next week for a nice little walk in the cemetery with the Cemetery Man. Have a good evening.
Yeah, this is your Dark Lord of Knowledge, your Chad Daddy, saying we'll see you next week with Delamorte Delamore, as it was originally called.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah.
And this is your host with the ghost, the prince of the paranormal, the duke of the dead, Lord Scuba Cabra, saying, I'll see you next week, baby. Big Johnny D will be back, so the show will run as it should. Thank you. Have a good night. And remember, cereal is just cold.